in a league where we consistently say nothing should surprise us, somehow, some way, the NBA finds a way to surprise us. And I'm sure Damian Lillard being waived was a huge surprise to you, no?
That's it. It's an NFL move. That's what it reminded me of. In the NBA, very rarely will you just waive a player.
Mm-hmm.
But now with the new CBA and the way the contracts work, I guess we're going to see this more, that you can waive guys to get the money off your books.
So essentially, yeah, instead of paying Damian Lillard $54 million next year, you're freeing up over $30 million of cap room, and that's how they're able to get Myles Turner. So, I mean, the biggest question, so you're surprised about this, right? Because you're right. We don't really see this in the NBA at all.
Especially with a name like Damian Lillard. I mean, obviously coming off the Achilles injury and the blood clots, the scary situations he's had, but also he's getting a little bit older. But Dame Lillard is still a name in the league and still a face of the league. So, yeah, it was surprising you don't see players get waived in the NBA and very much. And you certainly don't see a player like Dame Lillard getting waived.
No, it's totally strange there. And then the next question obviously filters over to Giannis, right? Because, yeah, there's a shock of, hold on a second, Dame Lillard getting waived. You obviously have to run that by Giannis, right? Like, there's no way that happens without Giannis being on board or Giannis being aware that this is happening. And so the assumption has to be, you've brought this to Giannis and you're selling him on the fact, hey, we're still trying to keep competitive next year and moving forward. And we can't really do that with this Dame Lillard cap hit next year. And then we don't even know, well, he's not going to play next year. But on top of that, what's he going to look like on the other end of this, right? So do we just try to just turn it over now, bring in Myles Turner, who's a younger version of Brook Lopez, essentially, right? I would say better, but I don't even really know what that means. Like, this move doesn't make the Bucks good. I think it's just more so a sign to Giannis that, like, hey, we're trying to do something here. We're trying to get you help. What do you think this move signals to Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks?
I think that it's kind of a short-sighted move, not a long-term move. Obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks franchise kind of, in my opinion, rightly, is going to do everything they can to keep Giannis happy for the next year or two and are not worried about the team in the next 4 or 5 years down the road. But even that being said, like, I don't think the Bucks are going to be very good at all. And halfway through the year, Giannis, who knows? Halfway through the year, he might demand a trade. It's the NBA. We don't know. But it may not be enough to keep him around.
I mean, listen, I don't think that they have enough as currently constituted, but I do think that they need, if you tell me they're able to somehow get a point guard of some sort, I don't know what that caliber would be, but like right now you're talking, personally, I would try to flip Kyle Kuzma and get like 2 players that could help me just to make my team a little deeper. But right now you can't go into the season with Kevin Porter Jr. as your starting point guard. And then you got Gary Trent Jr., Kuzma, Giannis, and Myles Turner with Bobby Portis coming off the bench. You still have Taurean Prince, like, I don't know, Gary Harris and AJ Green. Like, there's not a lot there, right?
No.
So I would try to flip Kuzma and see if I can get 2 depth pieces from someone.
I don't think you're going to have a ton of people knocking at your door for Kuzma.
You're totally right about that. And that's kind of why they're in this position where they're a little bit stuck. But now you're going forward with $20 million on your dead cap every single season going forward. Like, that's, I don't know. It's just a crazy, crazy time there.
For me, I don't know, but like, yes, Giannis is amazing and he's won a championship and he's one of the best 3 players in the league year in and year out. But if you're Milwaukee, like, this is a car veering off the side of the road down a cliff. We all see it. If you've been paying attention for the NBA in the past 5, 10, 15, 20, we all know what's going to happen. Why didn't they just try and get the best deal? Why?
You can't trade Giannis. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, okay?
Why not?
The Milwaukee Bucks have been relevant how many times in our lifetime, okay? You could maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Giannis years, and then go back to the Big
Ray
Dog
Allen.
Robinson and Ray Allen's teams.
Yeah.
Like, I guess Michael Redd had like a glimmer at some point where he was like okay for a couple seasons before he got hurt. But this proves a point. You're the Milwaukee Bucks, so you finally have Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have a guy. You cannot get rid of him until he comes to you and says, I want to trade. Until then, I'm doing everything. No. He's come to you and begged for you to make the team better, which you have. You got Drew Holiday. You won a championship. Then he asked again. You got Dame Lillard. It didn't really work out, but you made moves in lockstep with him trying to make it work. If I'm Milwaukee, I am not trading Giannis until Giannis tells me that he wants to be traded, because I still need to sell tickets. I still need, to have people walking around in jerseys of Giannis. And if I just trade him for, I don't know, Jabari Smith Jr., I'm trying to get Amen Thompson. Like, that's not putting, butts in the seat.
It's the picks. It's, you do what Oklahoma City did. You try and build up a stash of these picks. And so you can start moving and grooving and find these players, not necessarily through the draft, but you could package picks for younger players to bring in, guys that you've scouted, guys that you can develop, and then the jerseys will come organically, okay? Because otherwise, they're going to be wearing a Antetokounmpo jerseys, but he's going to be gone anyway. Like, he's going to be gone anyway.
But this is what I'm saying.
He's going to be on the Bucks past in 365 days. Do you believe that Giannis will be a Milwaukee Buck in a year, July 3rd, 2026? Will he still be on the Bucks?
I say yes. Because I just think Giannis, I think if he wanted out, he would have just said so already. And we just haven't gotten to that point. And I think that as long as you put a team around him, you let him know that you're trying to improve, I think he's okay. Like, he's going to go out there and do everything he can. And at some point, the NBA is a weird place. There could be some other move that just hasn't happened yet. And then all of a sudden things flip and everything changes.